willing to fight any odds to get it.
Down there I sell whiskey and cards. All you can buy up these stairs is a bullet in the head. Now which do you want?
Starring Joan Crawford, the screen's most dynamic artist.
Interesting facts about famous people.
Female-led westerns. It wasn't very often, but was there from time to time. Women stepped up and took leading roles in western movies. Some more than once. Barbara Stanwyck probably the best example. It made for a welcome change and gave another dimension to the genre. Nowadays, not unusual at all. If you enjoy this video, hit the notification button to get my new videos. If you want to check out my many other videos, head over to my channel. The link is in the description. Let's get into it, in no particular order. The Quick and the Dead, 1995. Director, Sam Raimi. A female gunfighter returns to a frontier town where a dueling tournament is being held, which she enters in an effort to avenge her father's death. Sharon Stone is so insistent that Leonardo DiCaprio appear in the film that she paid his salary personally. There is a scene where Gene Hackman lightly slaps Sharon Stone. It wasn't scripted, and Stone's reaction is real. Sharon Stone's leather jacket is the real deal. Over 100 years old. It's from a Western museum. Stone bought the horse, Magic, after the movie was over. Stone, I've been riding all my life, but never on such a fine horse as this. Stars Sharon Stone, Gene Hackman, Russell Crowe, Leonardo DiCaprio. Meek's Cutoff, 2010. Director, Kelly Reichardt. Settlers travelling through the Oregon desert in 1845 find themselves stranded in harsh conditions. Loosely based on a true incident involving trail guide Stephen Meek and a band of settlers in 1845. Actors went through a week of pioneer camp. Paul Dano and Zoe Kazan have been in a relationship since 2007 and have a daughter born in 2018. Michelle Williams' second feature with Kelly Reichardt stars Michelle Williams, Bruce Greenwood, Paul Dano, Will Patton. The Missing, 2003. Director Ron Howard. In 1885 New Mexico, a frontier medicine woman forms an uneasy alliance with her estranged father when her daughter is kidnapped by an Apache Brujo. One of the reasons that attracted Ron Howard to the project was the difficult relationship between the mother, played by Cate Blanchett, and her teenage daughter, portrayed by Evan Rachel Wood. This very much mirrored what was going on in Howard's personal life as his own daughter was embarking on teenagerdom and all the parental difficulties that came with it. Elizabeth Moss was cast in the minor role of Anne. The cast includes 3 Oscar winners, Tommy Lee Jones, Cate Blanchett, and Ray McKinnon. Stars Tommy Lee Jones, Cate Blanchett, Evan Rachel Wood, Jenna Boyd.
That's my mother's. What'd you do to my mother? What'd you do?
The Homesman, 2014. Director Tommy Lee Jones. 3 women who have been driven mad by pioneer life are to be transported across the country by covered wagon by the pious, independent-minded Mary B. Cuddy, who in turn employs low-life drifter George Briggs to assist her. Grace Gummer, who appears here in her first major film role, co-stars with her mother, Meryl Streep, who has a supporting role. Haley Steinfeld's second Western after her Oscar-nominated breakout role in True Grit, 2010. Meryl Streep's first role in a Western. Stars Tommy Lee Jones, Hilary Swank, Grace Gummer, Miranda Otto. The Ballad of Little Jo, 1993. Director, Maggie Greenwald. Based on a true story, this is the tale of Josephine Monahan, a young woman in the mid-19th century who is thrown out of her parents' home after being seduced by the family's portrait photographer and giving birth to his child. Josephine quickly learns that young, female, pretty, and alone are a bad combination for life in the Wild West. In her desperation to survive, Josephine disguises herself as Joe, a young man, and struggles to make a life for herself in a dingy frontier mining town. Can little Joe live and love without revealing his secret? In the Wild West, a woman had only two choices. She could be a wife or she could be a whore. Josephine Monahan chose to be a man. Stars Susie Amos, Bo Hopkins, Ian McKellen, David Chung. Cat Ballou, 1965. Director, Elliot Silverstein. Cat, heroine. Ballou's family farm is being threatened by the railroad. She sends for Kid Shalene, finding him to be the drunkest gunfighter in the West. When her father is killed by the railroad magnate's gunman, she vows to fight on. Shalene manages to ride sideways in several scenes, while minstrels sing the Ballad of Cat Ballou in between scenes. While Lee Marvin's drunken antics kept most of the cast and crew laughing, it didn't make a fan out of Jane Fonda, who had the job of playing her character straight, while the others got to ham it up, and took her role very seriously. Too seriously for Marvin, who, according to Dwayne Hickman, was always trying to joke with her and make her lighten up. Stars Jane Fonda, Lee Marvin, Michael Callan, Dwayne Hickman. Annie Get Your Gun, 1950. Directors George Sidney, Busby Berkeley. A story very loosely based on the love story of Annie Oakley and Frank Butler, who met at a shooting match. Fabulous music, although the lead characters have virtually nothing to do with the actual historical figures. Annie joins Frank Butler in Colonel Cody's Wild West show. They tour the world performing before royalty as well as the public at large. At the end of the film, there are numerous people riding horses in concentric circles. As the camera pulls all the way back just before the end appears, it is clear they are forming a target, with Annie Oakley and Frank Butler in the bullseye. Stars Betty Hutton, Howard Keel, Louis Calhern, J. Carroll Naish. Cold Mountain, 2003. Director Anthony Minghella. The Civil War saga addresses romance, friendship, and the ravages of war, both in the field and on the home front. Captures the horrors of war for both those fighting it and for those left behind. This is a tale of hope, longing, redemption, second chances, and faith. Nicole Kidman did all her own piano playing. For her performance in this movie, Renee Zellweger became the first actress to win Best Actress in a Supporting Role at the Academy Awards, Silver Actors Guild Awards, BAFTA Awards, Golden Globe Awards, and Critics' Choice Awards. Tom Cruise and ex-wife Nicole Kidman were considering roles in this movie, yet Cruise was unaware of Kidman's involvement. Cruise backed out, but Kidman immediately signed up. Natalie Portman originally auditioned for the part of Ada. Stars Jude Law, Nicole Kidman, Renee Zellweger, Aline Atkins. Calamity Jane, 1953. Director David Butler. Deadwood, Dakota Territory is largely the abode of men, where Indian scout Calamity Jane is as hard-riding, boastful, and handy with a gun as any. Quite an overpowering personality, but the army lieutenant she favours doesn't really appreciate her finer qualities. One of Jane's boasts brings her to Chicago to recruit an actress for the Golden Garter stage. Arriving, the lady in question appears, at first, to be a more feminine rival for the favours of Jane's male friends, including her friendly enemy, Wild Bill Hickok. Doris Day recorded the story Secret Love in only one take. Day had to lower the sound of her natural voice in order to sound more gruff to play the rough and ready Calamity. Day's performance inspired the look and voice of Jessie from the Toy Story franchise. Stars Doris Day, Howard Keel, Aline Ann McCleary, Philip Carey.
Calamity, is the stands open?
Well, I'm kind of safe, listen.
The Furies, 1950. Director, Anthony Mann. In the 1870s New Mexico Territory, T.C. Jeffords, Walter Houston, is a cattle baron who built his ranch, the Furies, from scratch. He borrows from banks, pays hired hands with his own script, TCs, and carries on low-level warfare with the Mexicans who settled the land but are now considered squatters. He has enemies, including Rip Darrow, Wendell Corey, a saloon owner from whose father, T.C., took land. His headstrong daughter, Vance, Barbara Stanwyck, has a lifelong friend in one of the Mexicans, her heart set on Rip and Dad's promise that she will run the Furies someday. The film cast includes one Oscar winner, Walter Houston, and 3 Oscar nominees, Judith Anderson, Beulah Bondi, and Barbara Stanwyck. Stars Barbara Stanwyck, Wendell Corey, Walter Houston, Judith Anderson. Johnny Guitar, 1954. Director, Nicholas Ray. Vienna has built a saloon outside of town, and she hopes to build her own town once the railroad is put through, but the townsfolk want her gone. When 4 men hold up a stagecoach and kills a man, the town officials, led by Emma Small, come to the saloon to grab 4 of Vienna's friends, the dancing kid and his men. Vienna stands strong against them, and is aided by the presence of an old acquaintance of hers, Johnny Guitar, who is not what he seems. Joan Crawford insisted on her close-ups only being filmed in the studio where the lighting could be rigidly controlled. No close-ups of her were shot while on location. Joan Crawford, who had bought the rights to the novel and sold it to Republic Pictures, with the provision that she would star, initially wanted Claire Trevor to play the part of Emma, and was jealous of the younger, competitive Mercedes McCambridge. Stars Joan Crawford, Sterling Hayden, Mercedes McCambridge, Scott Brady.
In gorgeous true color by Consolidated.
Get it over with, Pete.
What do you say, Mr. McIvers?
Maybe we ought to what?
Nothing.
You'll have to do it yourself, Emma.
I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comments. I appreciate your likes and subscribers. Hit the notification button to get my new videos. Take a look at my channel and check out my Facebook page. The links are in the description. I am Wrangler. Bye for now. See you again soon.
Interesting facts about famous people.